You've been silenced for very long, and every time you try to resist, they put you in jail.
For my children.
You've controlled your mind for so long to the point where you let them decide what your kids should learn, what gender they will be. And now you've let them to come for the whole nation, destroying what Britain once stood up for. They use this media machine not to report the facts to you, but to tell you what to think and what you should do.
Always be careful.
They're hiding the facts behind the noise, and they're recruiting pedophiles to tell you how to behave. And these politicians you meant to protect you, they're out there smashing your head on the ground. And no jail time for them. This road we've been on has been very dark for a very long time, and it's time to shine a light on the truth and advocate for justice. We the people make the nation, and if we don't stand up and advocate for justice, then we certainly won't make this nation great again. So we have to create a place for that, a place that can contribute to a more informed society. And that place is Next Frontier Media.
You are listening to
Johnny kicking off in the streets of London. It's kicking off. Big star in London. Police everywhere. Batons are out. It's ugly.
Ladies and gentlemen, patriots, truth seekers, digital warriors, welcome back to the show once again.
People being arrested everywhere.
Insane. This is London today.
People being arrested over here.
All right, folks. I don't know if you're ready for today. I'm not sure if you're ready for today. I don't know if you're ready, folks. Am I even ready? I don't even know. But things are not looking well in London. Not just in London as well, around Europe. Not many people want to talk about it, but we need to talk about it because, of course, it doesn't look pretty. Seeing what's taking place in London. We're seeing people from Iran. We're seeing people from Syria, the Kurds, and they're all taking it from they're all having it in the street. And you're thinking, hey, are you guys fighting for Britain? And they say, no, we're fighting for some other country in the Middle East. And you're thinking, hey, you're doing it here? If you're such a patriot, why don't you book a flight and go fight for the, democratic forces of the Kurdish democratic forces? Or go and join the Syrian army. Then you can show how patriotic you are towards your nation. But no, you want to come to London and then having it out, burning flags and doing all these things. So I want to show you what took place this weekend in London. Viewer discretion advised. Some of you guys might be upset, but it's important that we report it. But we're gonna talk a lot about it. We're gonna talk about this, and we're also gonna talk about other stuff. We got a lot of good stuff today, and I want to say happy Monday, happy freaking Monday. All right, happy Monday. I want to say thank you to all you guys who have tuned into the show every single day. We've been going live now we've been consistent now for the past 2 weeks now. 2 weeks. So I want to say I'm proud of myself because being consistent on doing this regular show is actually hard. I don't know how people do it, but it's actually hard to turn up at 4 o'clock every day. I mean, I was doing it, but then I lost the schedule because YouTube kind of messed it up. They demonetized us. They made it hard for us to do lives. They put a lot of restriction on us. We couldn't post that many videos from the last year till September. And then now we're basically trying to catch back. We're basically trying to get back into it. But it's actually difficult. So I want to say I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the team. They've kept me grounded, and we've been doing this. I want to say thank you as well for also coming on and tuning into the show and sharing the show. As you already know, it's heavily censored, but because you guys keep sharing. I see you guys sharing the videos on X. I see you guys sharing the video on Facebook. I see some of you guys even clip the video and you post it on your own channel, which is freaking good. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Maybe that's why it's growing. It's growing. It's what the word of mouth has spread, folks. The word of mouth is the biggest marketing ever to exist. Forget about TikTok. Forget about Facebook. People trust when you are referring people, when you have a friend and he's referring you to something that they like, you're more obliged, or maybe you're more likely to go and tune in as well. I'm assuming most of you guys are here because your friends have told you so. But anyways, we got a lot of things to talk about today. We do. Now here's what we're gonna talk about. So we're gonna talk about the protest, the Syrian versus Kurdish conflict in Manchester. But this time it wasn't more Manchester, it was more of London. We didn't see much in Manchester this evening, but it did happen in Manchester though as well, but it was very small. But we still need to talk about that. We're going to talk about migrant busters about sneaking into Britain from the bottom of the moving lorry. That is dangerous, folks. The video I'm about to show you of this guy documenting himself from Sudan to France, from France to the UK. Dangerous, bro. Really dangerous. I don't know what he's trying to get here. Yes, I understand. Britain is one of the best countries in the world. I get it. But the risk that this guy is taking, I'm like, wow. I don't know what they promised him that he's going to get when he get here, but it's definitely not just hotel. There's probably more to it. There's probably more that these guys get to take that risk. It's important I show you. I hope he doesn't take down the videos. I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna show you every single video I have. My God, it's crazy. Now we're gonna talk about Crowbar says no. A huge protest broke out this weekend. I think you guys have probably seen it. We're gonna talk about that, and we're also gonna talk about ex-councillor admits drugging and raping his wife for over 13 years. I mean, it's insane, folks. I don't know what these guys do. Beautiful wife he has. Beautiful, beautiful wife, I have to say. But the stuff that he did to her, I mean, some guys don't even deserve for girls to even look at them. Some guys don't even deserve to even get a peck on the, a little kiss on the cheek. Because what this guy did to his wife is insane. I think we need to talk about that. It's quite horrific. And I'm going to show you the numbers. We did a little bit of research on this. The amount of girls that have been killed by their husband, the amount of domestic abuse, the amount of femicide. I mean, it's insane. And I think we need to talk more about this. And I'm not gonna be all feminist side of it. I'm not gonna try to hate on men. Of course not. I think when you go to that extreme, you lose the sensible men who are out here trying to protect the women and trying to also share your outrage. But when you stay grounded and you just present the truth about how girls are actually treated, I mean, it's not kind of, but it's concerning. It's concerning. So we need to talk about that. And then we're gonna talk about graduates claiming benefits surge to over 700,000. It's important, folks. A lot of young people, they go to school, they get promised everything. They promise you that go to school. They promised you go to school, get a degree, do a master. Life is sorted now, and you do all that, and you rank up over 70,000 pounds in debt, and then only for you to not get anything, only for you to stay home and get benefits. I need to show you this graph. It's crazy, the amount of young people who have graduated and stayed at home and don't want to even go to work. It's like, why did you even turn up to school then? Why did you pay all this for this degree which you're not going to use? You could have stayed at home all along. Yeah, we need to talk about that. And that's important because, of course, these young people who are not working, I mean, they're the future, folks. They're the future. And if the future that we're banking on are not eager, are not planning to go to work, I mean, who's going to work? Who's going to provide for the country? Who's going to keep the machine rolling? Yeah. And the last one, of course, Keir Starmer. There's a lot of stuff going on. I make sure this is gonna be a last story we're gonna talk about because I want to spend more time on this. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna go off with Keir Starmer today. So there's a coup going on in Keir Starmer. Yes, there's a coup, and of course, Keir Starmer has a tendency of shutting people down. He has a tendency of, a little bit of authoritarian type of behavior. he has some sort of like dictatorship in him, where whenever he's challenged, he's always thinking to just shut it down, shut people down. And Andy Burnham, the mayor of the mayor of Manchester, has been in the mayor of Manchester for a very long time, wants to challenge him. And of course, Keir Starmer doesn't like challenge. He doesn't do well when he's challenged. He runs, he hides away like a coward. So, of course, Keir Starmer has basically told Andy Burnham, stay where you are. And yeah, there's a coup going on because there's a lot of people in the Labour Party who are banking Andy Burnham because they know Andy Burnham is more lefty, he's more radical on that lefty side. He's more like he's a super socialist. So they want him. A lot of Labour people want him. And Keir Starmer is Keir Starmer is going through a identity crisis. He doesn't know. He's trying to figure out himself. He's trying to figure out which side of him that people will like, so then he can sell that to people. But he doesn't want to be challenged. There's a coup going on, and we need to talk about it, folks. All right, that'll be the last story, number 6. Yeah, we're covering a lot of stories today. So, folks, grab your coffee, grab your water, grab your drink. We're gonna dive into it. We're gonna go straight into it now. Yeah, I like it when it's cold. Yeah, very nice. It's nice, simple water. All right, cool. Let's get into the first story, folks. Oh, this one. How do we start this one, folks? I don't know. Where do we start with this? Where do we really start with these type of stories where we see foreign conflicts playing out in the street of Britain? We're not involved in this fight. We're not involved. We can actually say we're not. Can we really say we're not involved in this fight? I think so. So what now? We got the Kurds in the UK, and we got the Syrians in the UK. We got the Kurds, the Syrians in the UK, and there's a conflict going on over there back home. And of course, they want to fight each other here. The amount of Kurdish cars have been ruined. The amount of Kurdish business have been attacked. The same thing, vice versa to Syrians. The amount of Syrians business and Syrians, cars and all the property that they own, all the things that they possessed. The amount of stuff that has been targeted, and the amount of people have been, arrested, and the amount of people who have been hurt. It's insane. We need to talk about it. Not many people want to look into this because, of course, there's so many protests going on. You don't know which one is which, right? Because you got the Syrians protesting over here. You got the Kurds are protesting. You got the Iranians are protesting. You got pro-Palestinians. Then you got some lefties protesting. Then you got some people, protesting for Maduro. You got all these protests. Sudan protests. All these protests. And they're all taking place in Britain, where it's like, man, can we really put up with all this? Can I really just get in a car and drive to work without having any sort of person trying to block the road with a foreign flag? Can I really just try to go to the town center and enjoy my time with my babes and enjoy my time with my family, whoever I'm around, or just enjoy my time alone without seeing big crowd of people with foreign flag singing and dancing and doing all sort of stuff? And of course, as a journalist, hey, I want to go out there and film it for you guys so you guys get the thing. But let's get straight into this. This is what took place this weekend, where the Kurds were fighting each other and the police had to intervene. A lot of people were arrested, by the way. So let's play this clip. This is the Kurds clashing with the police. The Kurds clashing with the police. You can see the Kurdish flag right there, but
I've not got a right to use violence. You've got a right to protest, you haven't got a right to use violence. It's against police officers. So we record everything. We're a crime team. Later on, you might get a knock on your door next week, getting arrested.
That's all right, mate.
Okay.
Take care.
yeah, that is Great Britain, folks, just in case you forgot. So yeah, there's more. The Kurds are clashing with the police. And then on the other side, there's Syrians as well, also clashing with the police. And then I'm going to show you a video where you had the Syrians, the Kurds, and the Iranians. They also clash together, and it's like, this is like it's like, you got all these foreign countries, they're all fighting each other. I don't know why the Iranians were there as well. But I think the Iranian people will protest on this side. The Syrian people were protesting, and the Kurds were protesting. I don't know what happened, but somehow they all start fighting each other. I'm thinking, all right, I don't know, folks, what's going on here? I hope this doesn't carry on for long, but it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. But listen, watch this one. This is just the Kurds. This is just the Kurds by themselves clashing with the police. Then I'm going to show you the one with the Kurds clashing with other protesters. Yeah. Okay, that's one. Okay, this was in London, and of course this other one was in London. This was huge. As you can see, a lot of Kurdish flags, a lot of PKK flag, which is a designated terrorist group. But of course, we changed the name of the designated terrorist the terrorist group that we designated it to be a terrorist group. We changed this name when we needed their help, and we named them Democratic Kurdish. So something like Kurdish Democratic Forces. We changed the name, but it was PKK. In Turkey, it's still PKK, but we changed its name because we needed their help to fight ISIS. And now it's like they're not terrorists. Well, I'm not saying they are terrorists, but it's just, we labeled them terrorists before, but then we changed it because we needed the help. But watch this video of all these flags being flown around now. Yeah, just a lot of foreign flag, a lot of crazy stuff. By the way, you can't even, if you were to try get a Jesus cross and try walking Whitechapel with it, you'll be stopped instantly by the police because you'll be offending the Muslim community. I mean, I'm not even making that shit up, folks. It was ruled. The police, Tower Hamlet, Iftar Rahman, the mayor of Tower Hamlet, yeah, the police says, hey, you can't walk here because you upset the Muslim community here. So no cross. But everybody else can walk with a lot of flags, with foreign flag. Hey, but I guess we love to see it. We love to see it, guys. But here's another one. This is the Kurdish, the Syrians, and the Iranians. And this is the one I wanted to see. This is the one I want you to see. Is all of them, yeah, but clashing together. I'm assuming the police was trying to, you know how they draw a line where you can't cross this line because the other people are on this other side. But I don't know what happened, but it seemed like that line kind of faded away. And then, of course, they clashed. You got the Kurdish, the Syrians, and the Iranians clashing together. Watch this, folks. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. Here's another one. Same video. Well, same different angle this time. Here's another one.
Volley kicking off in the streets of London. It's kicking off. Big style in London. Police everywhere. Batons are out. It's ugly. Missiles being thrown. People being arrested everywhere. Oh.
Stay away!
People have been arrested over here.
Yeah, it's crazy, folks. This is what's taking place. This is what's happening. And yeah, I know, I get it. A lot of people have been supporting the Iran protest. A lot of people have been supporting the Iran protest. Okay, we might support them. We might go and film it, but we do not want chaos. And all the protests I've attended, that be it Iran, the Iranian people are actually peaceful. To be fair, I've not seen any problem with them. All the protests that they've done, have been very like, they clean up after they're done. They play music, they dance. I've not seen any fights, which is freaking sick. And of course, I have a couple friends who lead the Iranian protest, which I always bust them up about, which I always like show my appreciation, because it's extremely hard to control the crowd the way they do. They turn up in the thousands and no freaking fight takes place. But of course, we've seen multiple from the Kurds and the Syrians, but a lot of it is just them fighting. Well, I just seen a comment that says Iranians are not Muslim. Bro, really? Are you silly? Oh, come on. What do you mean Iranians are not Muslim? It's like 90% Muslims. It's like 90%, 99%, 98%. So yes, all right, they might want to be like free Muslim, you know, they're more advanced type of Muslims, like maybe it's Saudi type of side where they want to dress, they want to do the normal stuff, they want to live a Western way of living. But come on, there's a lot of Muslims there, so you can't say Iranians are not Muslim. Yes, they are oppressed by the regime, they don't want it, and I'm with it. Let's fight it, but we can't say they're not Muslim because they're fighting a oppressive regime. What the fuck? All right, okay, but let's carry on. Here's the Syrians in Manchester. Sorry, here's the Kurds in Manchester. This is what happened in Manchester, folks. Pay attention to this, because this was just a random car, which I don't think was random. Maybe they suspect that this car was from was maybe a person who owned this car was a Syrian. And guess what they did? They basically they messed it up. Like they tear down everything. Yeah, so that was Manchester. The Kurds took it to the street in Manchester. I mean, there's multiple video I can show you here. There's multiple video of these guys taking it to the street. I like the Kurds people. I have to tell you, when I go to Winslow Road, which is Kurimayo now, don't ask me why they changed it to Kurimayo. But when you go there, you see there's a lot of different food. I like the food. I like the atmosphere. But sometimes it can get dangerous. That place never sleeps. It never freaking sleeps. And but then I see the Kurds, the way they're protesting, they're just destroying stuff. And if you look at what happened to Germany last night, I mean, bro, they were burning buildings. They were burning everything. Anything that they seen they burned. Look at what happened in Paris. They were burning everything. They were burning everything. So yeah. So they burn stuff. I don't know why they do that. I honestly don't know why. I don't know why they do it. Because maybe they're frustrated because they've been fighting for a country for a very long time. They've been fighting for an autonomy for a very long time, but they've never got it. They've been used by multiple sources. They've been used by multiple organizations. Almost every single organization that needs the help, they always turn up to help. When Britain needed their help, they turned up. The Kurds turned up to help. When United States needs the Kurds' help to fight ISIS, the war on terror, the Kurds turned up to help. When Iran needed help to fight Saddam Hussein with the Kurds inside Iraq, the Kurds turned up to help Iran in the 1980s. And also when Saddam Hussein needed the Kurds in Iran to help him fight Iran in the 1980s, same war, the Iran-Iraq war, they help. So these guys are constantly being used by different forces where anybody can come and be like, hey, help me this. You know, the Kurds were used by, of course, Turkey almost every single time. And I don't think they trust Turkey anymore, because Turkey has been a very, I don't know, Turkey, man. I don't know how I don't know how they get away with stuff that they do. But they've been used a lot. Maybe that could be the reason why they've protest very they destroy every single thing. They protest in a way where it's not as peaceful. They are more radical in the way they protest to make a stand. I'm not sure. Maybe that could be a thing, but I don't know why every single time when they do protest, there's somehow have to be some form of like conflicts that comes out. Somehow a car might be burnt, or maybe somebody might be stabbed. I don't know why. I don't know why they do that. Maybe they should copy the Iranians. The Iranian people are protest. When they protest by themselves, I mean, super peaceful. Music, they're dancing, they're singing, they're cheering. I mean, yeah, that's what they do. But yeah, there's a lot of misinformation in the chat. A lot of people are saying Iranians are not Muslims. Man, 98% of Iran of the religion in Iran is Islam. It's 90 freaking 8. Maybe my sources are wrong, but it's 98. There's like 0.1, 0.9 Christians. So don't. Yeah, I support it. A lot of them are Muslims, but it doesn't matter if they're Muslim or not. I'm still gonna support a human being. I don't want to see them oppressed. I don't mind. I don't want to see them oppressed. So I don't mind helping. I don't mind protesting. I don't mind showing their pain and broadcasting to the world so we can give them help that they need to fight. So they don't have to be Christian for me to support them. So they can be hardcore Muslims. If they still be oppressed, I will turn up and I'll be like, all right, don't do this. But now, of course, a lot of people think a lot of Kurdish people are Muslims. A lot of Syrians are obviously Muslims. That's the religion that dominates Middle East. So a lot of people think Tommy Robinson is hardcore Muslim, a person who hates Islam, like full-on Islamophobia. So you wouldn't expect Tommy Robinson to wait in, to come in and support a Muslim. You know what I mean, right? A lot of people wouldn't think he would do that. But here it is. He's seen the injustice that's taking place in Syria, where where the Syrian government is basically trying to annex the Kurdish civilization, the Kurdish people over there. Why? Because the land that they currently occupied, or the land where they reside in, by the way, they don't have any sort of autonomy, but the land where they are, there's something on the ground. Yeah, there's always things on the ground, folks. There's always things on the ground. So they want this stuff on the ground, and that happens to be oil. The border where the mountain, the rock mountains, I think, I don't know what the mountain is called. I don't know what the mountain. I forgot what the mountain is called. But there's things there. The Syrian government wants to take it. They want to take full control of the country because the country is fully divided. There's a lot of people who, you know, the Syrian government does not control the whole thing. So they want to take control of the full thing, and that means taking full control of the area that the Kurds have sort of made a life for themselves and made a little government for themselves. And of course, Tommy Robinson knows the history of the Kurdish people. He knows that these people have been oppressed endlessly since even before World War, since the Ottoman Empire. They've been oppressed even before the Ottoman Empire. These guys just used to live there between Iraq, Syria, and Iran and Turkey, but somehow they have no land. And he noticed this, and he waited in their support. Listen to this, folks. It's important that we tune in.
The thing I struggle with a bit, what I'm struggling with, as I'm watching the developments online, I'm seeing what's happening to the Kurds. Think of this. When everyone wanted ISIS, remember what a disease and plague ISIS were on the world? Do you remember all the beheadings, the torture, the kidnapping, the Yazidis, the rape? Do you remember the scale of it? Because we forget easily. So bring yourself back there, remember it. And there was one fighting force, which was supported and wouldn't have done it without the support, but it was the Kurds. And they done it for their own good, probably, for their own safety, but it helped us. It helped the world. It helped freedom. It helped. So they've defeated them. Or the Kurds have then been responsible. You know, Shamina Begum, we all say we don't want our own. Yeah? We don't want that bitch back in the UK or any of those polluted, diseased mindset of women who think it's okay for non-Muslim women to be sexual slaves, who participated, who made it viable and possible for those jihadists to rape, kill, murder, because they supported them, encouraged them, and went out there to be their support and be their wives. So all of them. We don't want any women back. No European country wants them back. Well, it's the Kurds who have kept them in imprisonment. It's the Kurds who have guarded those prisons. When we had 100,000 Afghans come into the UK, and they had to come into the UK, according to our government, because they helped us in the conflict in Afghanistan. Now, that means we have to destroy our nation to help them. I don't think they should have come into the UK. I think that if we had to help them in a Middle Eastern country, help do a deal with another government where they may integrate and assimilate better, where they share the same culture and belief system, not bring 100,000 barbarians, because I'm sorry, 99% of Afghanis want Sharia law. Fuck off, right? But we had to bring 100,000 men into our country. The Kurds aren't asking to come into our country currently, okay? What the Kurds have done, they defeat ISIS, they combat ISIS, they control all the terrorists, they help save the world, the West, and right now, they're surrounded, their women are being taken, they're being tortured, they're being butchered, and the same world, or the same West, and the same strong leaders are just standing by. They're just standing by.
Yeah.
Think of the lengths they went to deceive our country and deceive the public. Now, I don't think the British public, we're not asking for boots on the ground, but you can support those Kurds. You can prevent what's happening. Massive pressure can be put on that jihadist in charge of Syria. More than's being done. Lots can be done. He's David Lammy's best mate, but so much could be being done.
That's right.
And right now, you're reading.
Yep.
And do you know when they're surrounded, they're probably sitting thinking, wishing for help. Just the same as in Iran. There's so many of these stories. And I just look at them and think, you've got to be on the right side each time.
That's right.
You can't support the Kurds when they're fighting ISIS, really, I don't think. And then when they defeat ISIS, imprison ISIS, control the prisons of ISIS, just leave them thrown under the bus and allow the money that you're giving the West to Syria, the jihadist government, for their army, supported by that scumbag in Turkey, who sees himself as the next leader of the caliphate. That's what's happening here.
Exactly.
Okay? He hates the Kurds, doesn't want the Kurds to have a homeland. There's all these in-house politics going on. But the main thing for me, I just look and think what that section of community done to stop ISIS, control ISIS, put out their flame. They're just on their own now. It's sad.
It is super
Thinking
sad.
about what they're facing. It's sad thinking about it. It's the same with Iran. If you actually sit there and think about it, we're going to help you. We're going to help you. Help is on its way. 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 Tens of thousands, the biggest slaughter of civilians we've seen. Probably 50,000 dead, 10,000 lost eyes. Not all those that have been arrested, disappeared. People who don't know where their family are, won't see their family again. Help is on its way. Help is on its way. I don't know. Yeah. Just sharing my thoughts as I'll keep reading and going down these rabbit holes, just thinking it's just disappointing. We're on the wrong side so many times as governments, whether it be for money, power, minerals, whatever it's for. What we should always be on the right side for is humanity.
Amen, amen.
The Kurds against ISIS, you're on the Kurd side. Iran against the Islamic regime, Iranian side. Israel, Palestine, Israel side. Oh, people, have a good day, man.
Yeah, so that's Tommy Robinson. He's waited in. He knows the horrific crimes that have been pouring upon the Kurds since the dawn of time. They've had no country for themselves ever since World War I, when we defeated Ottoman Empire. World War I, yeah, okay, Britain went in. We promised them. We drew a map for them. Remember, we promised them a land. We're like, hey, that's why when you see when you look at the maps in the early 2000 in 1930, 1920s, you'll see it will say Kurdistan. That's why there's a Kurdistan, but there's no country, because we promised them, hey, you're gonna get your stuff. And then obviously after World War II, Britain withdrew. A lot of countries gained independence. We drew a map. We drew a map for Israel. We drew a map for a lot of countries in the Middle East. We drew a map for India and Pakistan. We were drawing maps everywhere. All right. Britain was drawing maps everywhere. Right. We were just drawing maps. And we forgot to draw maps for a lot of people too. And that happens to be the Kurds. We didn't go back and draw their map. And then, of course, now they have no country. We drew a map between them, not around them. We drew a map between them, and now they were separated by 4 countries. They were now in Iran, in Iraq, in Syria, and in Turkey. And of course, we know how bad the Turkish government have treated them. We know how horrific this, Erdogan and all his regime and all the Turkish regime with Pakistan and all the thing that they've been with Iran, the thing that they've done to the Kurds is horrific. Now, we use the Turks every single time we're in the Middle East. If we needed to fight ISIS, we used the Kurds. We used them. They fought for us. They lost hundreds of men, hundreds of women. They lost life. We used them. We promised them something, and we withdrew. We didn't give them anything. When we fight in Saddam Hussein, weapons of mass destruction, the war on terror, we use the Kurds. We use the Kurds. We send them weapons. We're like, hey, go do this. Go do this. You go check that tunnel and let us know what you see. And the Kurds check the tunnel and they blow up. And then we're like, all right, it's okay. And then we turn around saying, all right, it's okay. Well done, well done. And later on, Trump says that Britain didn't contribute to anything, even though we lost over 400 plus men, actually more than that. But anyways, this is what we do. We use, and whenever we don't need, we discard them. And now today, the Syrian government, al-Julani, the guy who was a terrorist, somehow Trump flew in, shook his hand, we gave him a suit, and now he wears a suit. He changed his name to al-Rashal, whatever his name. But his real name is Abu Muhammad al-Julani, a terrorist who killed a lot of people, oppressed a lot of people, killed a lot of Kurds, I have to say, killed a lot of Afghans, killed a lot of Syrians, killed a lot of British troops, killed a lot of British American troops, European troops. But today he's out there shaking hands with our foreign ministry. Before that was what's his name? Oh, what's that guy, bro? How am I forgetting this guy? David Lammy. Oh, before Yvette Cooper. David Lammy shook his hand. David Lammy, they loved him. Trump went in. He's shaking, hands with Trump. He's shaking hands with Benjamin Netanyahu. He's shaking hands with everybody. Even though this guy was a terrorist, this guy was needed, just like the way we needed Saddam Hussein, just like the way we needed Bin Laden, just like we needed all these terrorists. He was a part of that. There was a £10 million bounty head on his head to catch this guy. We should capture him like Maduro, but we didn't. But instead, we put him in a suit and we gave him a country to run. And now, what he wants to do, he wants to annex the Kurds. And we're just sitting there watching. And we're preaching democracy. And we're out there thinking like everything's good. How is that freaking good? That's why it's becoming very hard for us to get allies in the Middle East. Because a lot of countries are like, hey, you use everybody and you leave them there. Do you get what I mean? And we don't need to take them and bring them to Europe. No, they don't want that. Have you noticed most migrants who are flying their foreign flag, they love their country more than they love Britain. So they don't even want to come here. Look at how they do when they're here. Do you think they really love it? Probably not, right? Most of them just want to be in their country because we promised them this as the only alternative. That's why they take it. And when they take it, they want to make England like their homeland. So they want to change stuff. They want to do this and they want to do all this. They want to do all this. I mean, this is what's taking place. I'm glad Tommy Robinson is, has weighted in. A lot of people are on the fence. But what's happening to the Kurds is absolutely horrific. The Syrian government is going out there. The only one place that they called home. They don't have a home, by the way. They can't plant their flag proudly in Syria or Turkey or Iran or Afghanistan. They don't have a place. The only place that they had, which was the mountain place, the border between Iraq, the border between Turkey and Syria and Iran. That's the border. That line. That's where they all reside. Now, the Syrian government wants all that. And they're doing everything and more. And they're killing, looting, and they're just destroying everything along the way. And the Western governments are just watching and saying, yeah, we're just watching. But there's more to this. There's something underneath there. And somebody wants it. And of course, we're going to remove anything on top of it. So we can dig and find what that thing that is. But yeah, this is a story, folks. This is a story. All right, cool. That's the Kurdistan story. And of course, be aware or be prepared of all the protests that will take place in the UK. Because of course, we're not done with that. There's going to be more protests. But I think let's talk about something else. All right, let's move into the next story, folks. What do you think of that story? Comment down below. What do you think? Do you think the Kurds deserve a homeland now? Should we tell Turkey to like chill out? Should we tell Iran to chill out? Should we tell Iraq to chill out? Tell Syria to chill out and draw the border that we promised them? Just like the way we see in the old maps, the maps in the 1920, 1930, 1940s, 1950, I would say. Actually, 1960, I would say. I would even go even further. There was a map, 1980. But today is just big Turkey all over that map. Because Turkey has been pushing and making sure that Kurdistan never cease to exist. All right, folks. Let's move into to another story. I think this story is gonna shock you, folks. Dangerous story, this. All right, this guy. I don't know if you know him. Comment down below if you know this guy. Yeah. Let me know if you've seen him around. But he's in Britain right now. But I want to show you something. This guy has been making a lot of journey. He's been going back and forth. Man, this guy's an explorer, I have to say. He's out there. He's documenting his journey from Sudan. Then boom, he's in France. He's dancing, he's singing, he's in France. How did he get there so fast? And then he's documenting his journey in France. Oh, he sees a moving truck, a lorry. He jumps on the lorry and he's documenting himself the whole way. And guess what? He is in Britain. Have you seen this guy somewhere, folks? Let me know. Let me know. But it's important that we share this guy's story. He's been around the place. God, this is a dangerous thing, folks. So this guy, I don't know his name. I don't know who he is, but he's on TikTok. So I'm gonna quickly share my screen and see what we can share. I think his account is gonna be taken down soon. So this is his account, right? Okay, this is the account. Okay, all right. I'm glad we can refresh it and it's still here. All right. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. So I want to show you this. I'm gonna share my screen so you can see what I'm seeing as well, and we can talk about it. So we can talk about it. I'm gonna show you his picture, his videos, and everything that he's been doing, and how he got himself here, and how easy it is, and how other people in this. I mean, I think this is an industry now where people are actually advertising on this. People are actually advertising for them to make the journey. I mean, that's how lucrative it is now to even make that much money to advertise people to basically smuggle themselves into Britain. Crazy. All right, folks, give me a second. Let me get this thing up here. I'm trying to show you my screen. So for me to do that, I gotta get it on this laptop. 2 seconds. All right, what the fuck? Sorry. Okay. Yo, what's wrong with this keyboard? Technology is only good when it works, right? It's only good when it works, okay? It's only good when it works, folks. Is it even working? Is the keyboard just stopped working? I think this keyboard is dead. I think it's dead. All right. Fucking hell. All right. Okay. This is a huge problem. All right, cool. All right. It looks like we're getting there. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there, right? We're getting there. Okay. Let me share this. I'm gonna share my screen so you can see what I'm seeing as well. How the fuck this shit? This thing died on me? Really? Let's charge this shit. I got so many chargers here, and the thing, you know, one of them, your phone can die on you while you got a charger next to you. Does that happen to you guys? Yeah, this time it's the laptop. But okay, cool. We got it, folks. We got it, folks. All right, here it is. Okay, all right. Let's share our screen. Let's find this account. So this guy that we're looking at right now, him, is oh man, this is a dangerous thing to do. How is he doing this? But all right, let me share this screen, okay? All right, let me. Okay, okay, there he is. Can you see this? That's weird. All right, cool. We got it. So this is him. You know, this is the guy. He's been documenting his journey throughout the. You know, he's been documenting his journey the whole way, and it's important that I show you how it's been going for him. So this is him. So we can go as back as to, if we scroll all the way down, we're gonna see a video of him in Sudan. But we don't want to go all the way down, but we want to show you recently, right, what he's been doing. So from France to obviously to the UK. So this is Sudan, right? This is him in Sudan, okay? So obviously, as you can see, that's a Sudanese flag, right? Okay, they're having fun. All right. Okay. I don't know, maybe some documents, okay. I mean, I can't read all this. Okay, a little bit of dance, all right. Hey, we like some dances, all right? We do like some dances, all right? Okay, so he's dancing. There he is. Okay, fun. This is Sudan, by the way. All right, okay. I think we've seen enough. That is Sudan. Now, I think this, well, I want to find the one that he was traveling. Okay, this is him traveling. I don't know, that's too quick. Okay. Don't know what this is. I think this is him making that journey from I think, I don't know what, either it's Morocco or something. It's like a sub-Saharan Africa where you cross to Spain or to Portugal. That's very dangerous to swim from there. Most people die. It's very deep. A lot of boats have been, I think over 3,000 people have been confirmed dead, specifically from that side of the sea, of the ocean. So if this is where it is, then okay, that's crazy. And then boom, this is him in, obviously, France, trying to make the journey to the UK. So he's sneaking in. So this is what they do. They sneak in. So the trucks are obviously parked here. So maybe the driver is sleeping, or maybe the driver is eating. Maybe the thing that has not been loaded. Maybe the thing has been loaded up and is being scheduled to leave the next 1 hour, or 2 or 3. So what they do, or what this guy did, well, I don't think is the only person, because there's a lot of videos now advertising this method of making to Britain. So people are actually advertising it now. So it's not just a random guy showing his idea. No, they are told to advertise it. So, oh God, okay. So it gets under this lorry, or on the side of it. Cool. Then he's gonna wait there for as long as possible. He's gonna wait there for maybe however long he needs to wait there before the truck starts moving. And then, okay, let's go to the nearest one when the truck is actually moving. So this is him in Britain already. So we don't want to play that, but we're gonna play the one that he posted. So this is him under the truck. So the truck right now is moving. Can you see? So it's under literally the top. There's a pole here. So you see the truck is actually moving. They're on a motorway. Bro, do you know how dangerous that shit is? So the truck is moving. He's wrapped in his leg around. There's a pole somewhere underneath. You see, it's under the car. It's under the truck. It's under the lorry. I mean, bro, I don't know, bro. I'm not sure what they promised him here. Okay, I get it. Britain is one of the best countries in the world. But, I mean, risking your life like this, I don't know what he's getting, but it's probably more than just a hotel. It's probably more than just whatever we know. Because you don't risk your life this much unless there's like maybe 13 virgins. Maybe, I wouldn't even risk it for that. Maybe you're going to meet Jesus. Maybe when the rapture's happened, the UK will be a place where Jesus will come and take everybody in, or maybe whatever shit. Because I don't know, there's no way I would risk my life to do that. I'm sorry, folks. I love my life more than anything. Very narcissistic, yeah, you might say. But folks, that is crazy. That is dangerous. And this guy documented his journey. You want to know why? Because he was told to actually document it, because there's more people who need ideas of how to make it as well. So they're like, hey, if you do it, make sure you show everybody else too. If you get it done, make sure you make sure everybody gets to see as well. So then they come off the fence and then they can make the decision into taking that journey. So they don't feel scared. Because once somebody does this, everybody else is like, oh man, he made it. All right, here's how he did it. Let's do it. So he's on the way to Britain. This was 5 days ago, and I think it's important for me to show you. He's not posted anything yet, recent, but he's in the UK. Confirmed, he's in the UK. He made it. He made it. I don't know what to say, bro. This is freaking dangerous, man. This is crazy. This is insane. I don't know how somebody would do such a thing. Wow. Wow. All right. So, of course, that's him. He made it to Britain. He documented his journey. And, yeah, he made it to Britain. He freaking made it. unfazed, as he wraps his legs around the pole. Wow. This, I mean, for you to post something like this, I don't know, folks. No, bro. I'm sorry, no. So he made it. He freaking made it. Now there's more. There is more. So this is how they do it. So it's not just the lorries that they look after. They look for cars. Let's say people who are parked in traffic, who are waiting for when you're exiting. They go and wait there because obviously that's where most trucks are waiting as well. You know, you gotta exit the country. You gotta exit from Spain, I guess. So they wait there. They jump in, and obviously they go. They go with the truck, and they pray that nobody intervenes along the way. So that's why they always hide underneath. Some people go as further as tearing the lorry and go inside and sneak in and then hide themselves into it. Some people now have tried to pretend to be second drivers. So somebody will be like, hey, no, I'm here, second driver. When this driver falls asleep, I'm here. And then they pray and they hope that the first driver does not push too hard to get them out of the glory. So this is what they do. A normal people's car, they jump in. You won't even know that somebody's in your boot. You won't even know. You will have zero idea that somebody got in the back and laid in, act like everything's normal, and you'll be driving to Britain and somebody will be in there waiting, hoping that you don't stop for a lunch break and check your boot for some snack that you left in. And they hope that you go to the best location, maybe Manchester. Yeah. Insane. Here's how it looks. So somebody will be waiting in line, and let's say that van there, you might sneak in the back, and then you might get in from the back. From the back, he might sneak in and just get in, and he's able to get through. Again, if you've not seen it, this is how it's done. Underneath the freaking lorry. Underneath the lorry, folks. Wow. A moving lorry. Music is blasting. You want to hear some music? No, I don't want to listen to that one. Now, of course, the numbers is high. The numbers of migrants that tried to sneak in into the UK via vehicle. I don't know if you know, but can you see that graph, folks? Can you see that graph? Of course, the boats have gone up, but they are still coming in from the lorries. A lot coming in from the flights. So don't forget the airports. Yeah, so this is it. It's crazy because we spent, folks, I don't know if you guys know this, but we spent over £1 billion on drones. So the drones with all this AI technology, all this fancy stuff that they want to push on us. We spent £1 billion to make sure this drone can detect and can see their movement, can see where they're going, can see, with all high technology that you can think of. £1 billion, that's a lot of money, so it must be freaking good. It has to be. But somehow, we still we can't even stop a freaking boat. Can't even stop a boat. No wonder why Putin has called the European leaders pigs. Maybe he knows more than we do, alright? He's a wise man, Putin, I have to say. Regardless of what you think of him. to do what he's doing and to be in power for that long, I have to say. And to lead a big country like that with a big military, yeah. Stupid people don't last that long. They either trip and they get killed somewhere, or maybe they get captured like Maduro while they're asleep. Why do you think we can't do that to Putin? Hey, the guy has, I mean, I don't want to even talk about Putin because he has all these cool stuff. The way he does this, the way his lifestyle is kind of like fascinating. Like, what? He does that? Unnecessary stuff, but it keeps him alive, okay? But we spend so much money, we can't even stop a boat. And then we out here thinking we're going to go fight Putin. I mean, really? We out here, Keir Starmer is doing all this coalition of the willing. Coalition of the willing, Keir Starmer, Macron hugging, and maybe we get a little bit of a, you know, of Zelensky, right? They're all hugging. Coalition of the willing, we're going to do it. But we can't stop a freaking boat. But we want to go and stop Putin. A man who has been in power since before I was born. Actually. Yeah. Maybe not. What year did Putin get in? I swear it was 20... I swear it was before I was born. When did Putin get... I need a year. Yeah, before I was born, I knew it. I knew it just before 1991. Just before 2001 or 2000. 1999 he got in. The guy's been there for more than the whole life. I've not seen shit. He's been there. And we're out here. We can't stop a boat, but somehow we're going to go and stop someone who's able to push all his opposition around. Yeah, we might disagree what he does. Okay, we might disagree with some stuff, but he's able to keep his tenure strong. He's able to protect his premiership for however long that goes. But we can't protect a single boy. Look at this guy has defeated us. Look, this guy got in a lorry and defeated Britain. He got in a lorry underneath and won and got hit. But somehow we want to go fight Putin. Come on, bro. We have to fix this first. If we can't stop this, I don't know. I think we can even get beaten by Iran. Yeah. I know, very radical to say. If we can't stop a boat, we can't even stop anything. All right, folks, we're going to have to move on. This story is kind of like strange what this guy is doing. I mean, he's made it now. He's in the UK now. So look out for him, all right? Look out for him. Tell him you know about him. You know about him from some show, the Baraka show. But yeah, he's in Britain now. I don't know what's going to happen to him. He's going to wander off. He's going to go somewhere. He's going to maybe F off somewhere. And he's going to find something to do. Wherever he does. We won't even know about him. Or maybe he might become the new neighbor of yours. So, yeah. All right, folks. Let's cover a new story here. Let's cover a new story. This story is fascinating. This story is scary. I don't know about you guys, but when you see stuff like this, you always think like, what is happening within the country? What's taking place? What's going on? What can we really do? What can you really do when a government that promise you this, but they don't do it. They promise you that they won't bring in the people in your area, but they still do it. You protest, furious. You protest at night, daytime, midday. You protest in the weekend, Sunday, Saturday. You protest during the day, every day. You protest. You show them how hungry you are, how angry you are, and you show them that you don't want this. And they look at you. And they look away and probably smirk and, a little bit, maybe they laugh a little bit. I'm sure Shabana Mahmood had a lot of that this weekend. Maybe they laugh. They look at you protesting, singing with flags, and they laugh at you. They're like, oh, silly people, man. It gets to the point where you have to question yourself, does democracy really, really exist? Because Crowbar I'm talking about, this place is one place where I can say, apart from Epping, it's one place where I can say the people got together with their councillors, with their leaders, with their all the representatives. They got together and they opposed this. They said no. They campaigned. They said no. They got children out as well to say no. And you would think, okay, the national government would be like, maybe the local government with the people, they don't want this. They've said they don't want it. Maybe we should listen to them. Maybe we should show a little bit of respect to the local leaders too, because they've also pledged not to do this. But guess what they did? They went ahead and did it anyway. A bus came through in the middle of the night, 3:30 a.m. while you and I were sleeping. A bus went through with 27 people, 27 migrant men, and they put them in the army barracks. And all we figured out early in the morning that, oh yeah, it's done now. We can't even do anything. So take a look at this protest that the protest that took place on this weekend. It was huge. Rightfully so. People were more angry. Is there anything going to be done about this? I don't know. I doubt it, bro. I doubt it because we've been protesting, man. What else do you want us to do? We've been protesting. We've done all the methods. We've done all the national strikes. We've done the big rally in London. We've done all the stuff. What else is there left? More of it? I don't know. But listen to this, folks. Huge protest.
It's huge. This is our 13th week now. It's always been very, very peaceful. Everyone's listening, everyone's here for the same thing. And it just goes to show how strong we all feel about this movement. It should be happening.
And again, sort of notably, basically everybody here is local or from the surrounding area.
Yeah.
A few people over here from other protests have come to show solidarity.
Yes.
Of course, I've thought like myself, but this is a turnout of local people.
It is indeed. And you know, we're all doing this for the same thing. We don't think this is right. This is such a small town, and we need to put a stop to it. We haven't been informed about the movement at all. From day dot, we haven't been told anything. They got shipped in the night when we all wasn't expecting it, and it's just a joke. So we're all here together to fight.
Yeah, this is where we are, folks. Protesting no matter how long. 3 days, 20 days, 2 weeks, 30 weeks, 20 months. It doesn't freaking matter anymore. It looks like these world leaders, our leaders, the Shabana Mahmood of today, maybe then Yvette Cooper, the Keir Starmer of today. Maybe we can also blame the Tories too, because they're the one that started this whole mess. We can all pray, protest, do all the thing. They just look at us and be like, huh, look at those peasants. They think we are going to do what they say. They think we're going to listen. But you see, during the election time, they are all vocal. Maybe, this is the problem with politics, right? This is the problem. I think this is the issue. I think if I was to get in politics, I think whatever party I'll be in, it'll be, hey, they don't want to talk about it. I don't want to do too much on that side. But this is the problem where the people now have picked a side where people who vote Labour, they'll always vote Labour no matter what. And people who vote Conservative, obviously now have been divided in terms of Conservative and Reform. Because now it looks like they're both the same thing. I think, Conservative will have hard time voting the next time because they got two party now, basically. So, people who vote the Greens, whatever, they'll always vote the same thing. This is why the mess is always going to continue, because they're not voting for people who represent their constituent. They're not voting for somebody who will say no to things like this. They just vote for the party, regardless of their message, regardless of their belief, regardless of whether they're going to do the thing that they say or not. They just vote for the party, which is a problem, and that needs fixing. I think we need to start voting based on the person's promise and based on our belief that this person will go out there and do it. And if we back them, they have to do it. And if the moment that they deflect somehow to another party, or the moment they stop doing it, the moment they start gaslighting us, we withdraw our support instantly. We withdraw the lifeline. We take it away. Done. It can fall. And then we'll look for somebody else. Or maybe we'll rise up and just present ourselves. I'm sure there's a lot of good guys who are sitting and watching. I think it's your fault. It's your time for you to get up and come here and represent the locals. Because I need good people, good men, good women to get into politics. Because all the same faces that we've seen, maybe they might switch party, maybe they might go, you know, do a little bit of rebranding with Reform Conservative, or maybe they might do some rebranding with Green and the Tories. The Green and the Labour Party. Maybe they might do some rebranding with SNP and whatever stuff in Scotland. Or maybe in Wales too. They also do that, but that's heavily controlled by Labour. But they're all the same. They're all freaking the same. This is a problem, but listen to this, folks. I think this one is more important to listen to more than ever. Because these are young girls, right? They didn't vote for this. I'm sure they weren't even into politics, but they had to, given the situation that they are at in hand now. They're telling a story. These two young girls, I believe they're students. They're telling how their life will change now. Because the road that these guys are housed in, that's the road that these guys were walking to go home, or walking to go to college, or walking to go to school, whatever stuff that they used to do around. You know, there's a park nearby. Maybe somebody walks the dog, whatever they do. Now they're telling us that their life will be completely different in the next years to come, however long these guys stay there, because they're gonna have to start walking a different path, a long path. They're gonna have to go around so they can feel safe, or so they can prevent any bad stuff happening to them. Listen to this, folks. It's important. This is what we're doing to our young girls. It's terrifying. It's super. I mean, it's betrayal to the next level.
Scared, honestly, and I also don't want that. I also don't like that my freedom's taken away as well.
What kind of freedom's been taken away from you?
Being able to walk an easier way to school, like a shorter way to school, going up to the town, not even just by myself, with my friends.
The thing is, at this age, they see the media, and there's so much in the media about, you know, the attacks that are happening, and that's what they get to see. So whether, you know, these are real or perceived fears, the fears are real, and this community is feeling it. So Cobra Shield is a community interest company that was set up in response to the media when they said that we were going to be hosting 600 male asylum seekers at the Cadet Training Centre, which is not a disused army barracks, as it keeps being said, and which Shabana Mahmood keeps saying that that's what it is. I think we've seen about 5 coach loads go in over the last couple of days. I think the whole thing is just disgraceful, and Shabana Mahmood on, you know, social media and on media interviews saying Crowborough is just the first and we're going to open site after site, bragging and boasting about disrupting communities, and you know, they're placing asylum seekers in places that are just, it's not humane. Whatever government is in power needs to get to grips with the root cause. Putting them in army barracks, whether they're disused or not, hotels, none of this is right. But to kick out thousands of cadets of a training centre, not an army barracks that's disused, on the edge of a little town that doesn't have the infrastructure to support it, is just a terrible, terrible decision.
Final message to the Home Secretary?
She's reckless, and to boast about this is disgraceful, and I think you should resign.
As a resident myself, I'm angry and scared. I may be a 38-year-old male, but you know, there's only so much you can do if you're attacked on your own, isn't there? Look, it's just a mess, and yeah, you look around at the people who have started to leave now, but you know, I speak to a lot of women in particular who come up and say, you know, thanks for all the things that you're doing to try and help us, and you know, raising the profile of it, but they're terrified. I had one lady said she wouldn't even go to the Morrisons here, which for those that know the area, there's an underground car park that goes straight into the shop. If you're scared to go to an underground car park at the shop, that says it all for me. What would Reform UK do differently here if it was elected into the local area? So in the local area, we would have definitely put more challenges in legally, or you know, whatever processes would have been followed at whichever council level, first and foremost. But you know, from a national level, the policy is to detain and deport. So I see a lot of comments on our social media saying, well, it's Reform's policy to use military barracks. Yes, it is, but as a detention centre before deportation. Speaking to parents, particularly those with daughters, they're saying that they're effectively going to have to lock their kids down, or you know, heavily control what they do. When you're a teenager, you don't want that. You want that independence, and you want to grow, and you want to learn.
Initially, the council wrote back to the Home Office and said, we'd be happy to work with you to make your plans as efficient as possible. The reaction from the town was almost immediate and very, very strong. and it said, no, we do not want this here. There were several public meetings in the early days, which were televised and broadcast. They were universally against this plan. And when that happened, and when the council finally saw, the leadership of the council finally saw what was the community reaction, they changed course. They basically did a Keir Starmer style U-turn and voted to oppose the camp. The problem is, I've not seen anything concrete from the leadership of the council.
But is there a dissenting voice? Are some people okay with the illegal migrants being here?
I've not met anyone in Crowborough that is happy about it. The people on the left of the argument generally are against it because they will argue that the accommodation is inhumane. The people on the further right will probably argue that it's a problem with the small boats, and we need to stop the small boats. I would agree. I'm much further right than left, and believe that this is a problem that is manifesting in UK towns because the government just continues to fail to get a grip on our border situation. I mean, 800 migrants arrived on UK last week. This is going to house 540 at any one time. It is not going to touch the sides. And all it's doing is warehousing the result of a government problem into British communities.
Yeah. This was happening, folks. At night, you and I are sleeping. We're sleeping, we're dreaming, we're sleeping like a baby, right? It's 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m., bro. Some of us are just going to bed, all right? Don't talk to me about sleeping late. Some of us are just thinking if we should go to bed at 3 a.m. But no, Shabana Mahmood is out there driving a bus full of hundreds of men to put next to your neighborhood. So then you're going to have to start thinking each time you go walk your dog, because now it's not the same area. Now you don't even know who you are surrounded by. You don't know where these guys are from. You don't know their name. You won't even recognize them if you see them. You don't know nothing about them. Same the government. The government doesn't even know anything about them, but somehow they're gonna place them around your area at 3 a.m. in the morning because of course they don't want you to know. They don't want you to see because they know what they're doing is bad. And they just expect you to wake up and hope you don't realize, hope you don't, and if you do realize, they hope you don't voice any concern. They hope you just carry on living. They hope you will see us like, oh yeah, thank you, Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood, thank you. Yeah, it's concerning, and it puts democracy. We need to start asking the question: does that really is it really does democracy really exist? Because democracy for me, it kind of exists only to people with money, because people with money will always get their way. Have you noticed that people with money always get their way? Only people without money rely on democracy. So somebody like Elon Musk, they don't need to vote. They can just donate big amount, and then boom, they'll buy the whole election. It's theirs now. They just donate to the president, and boom, the president will do all their government contracts for them, and boom. In the UK, same. We're seeing big donation from venture capital. From venture capital firms in Canaan Island, over £4 million were donated to the Labour Party in 2024 during their campaign, and this was not disclosed until later on. £4 million received, and then we looked at the people who donated to the Labour Party. They invest into arm manufacturing companies, and guess what? They also invest into batteries and all these solar panel stuff. Okay, then now we see what the Labour Party is doing, trying to push all these solar panels and all these things, and we're like, huh. And then we see the companies that they're giving contracts to work. It makes sense. We looked at it. You can find the video on YouTube. I hope it's still there. Deep research. It's always the people who have money that gets their way. But people like us, the brokey people like us, we just have to protest. We just have to protest, do some singing, fly some flag, then go back home, hope things change, then do it again, until one day we grow old, and then we think, then we just lose We don't have any energy. We just stop. But yeah, that's the story in Cobra. This is what's taking place. This is what's happening. And it's really sad that the government is always getting their way. It's not like they try to please us anymore. Have you noticed? The government doesn't really please the people anymore. Have you noticed? They don't come to you and be like, and beg you for you to approve what they're trying to do. Because they work for us. You have to know that. They work for us. We pay them. Recently just had to file my taxes. Well, not filed. Recently had to put a little chunk of money. Sometimes you have to be safe, all right? You don't want HMRC to be knocking on the door and sending you all these brown papers. These brown letters. I hate them. But, you know, collecting money. But anyways, they work for us. We don't work for them. They should be begging us. They should be asking us for our approval for them to carry on a mission. They should come to us and be like, Barack, sir. They should come, Sir, Barack. And I'll be like, it's okay, raise, stand. And then be like, whatever shit they want to say. And I'll be like, no, shut up, go. That's the way it should be. We are the boss. We are the one that elected them. They work for us. But now it's been switched all the way around. Now they get their pictures. Now they're out there getting famous. They're getting richer. I mean, how's Angela Rayner worth £4 million? What did she do? Somehow David Lammy is rich. Keir Starmer is worth like £7 million. Everybody's rich. And then we look at Keir Starmer. What did he do? Okay, a prosecutor for a couple of years. Then he got into parliament. And then, what did he do? All these guys are just making money while all those people are working really hard. Voting all the time. Protesting every day. And then we hope and pray that something will change. I mean, God, it's fucking crazy. That I think whoever got us into this situation is super smart, I have to say. Whoever got us in this situation is super smart. Super freaking smart. All right, folks. Let's get into the next story. The next story is right. I don't know how to explain this story, folks. I'm gonna need your help with this story. I'm really gonna need your help with this story. Please, if you are in the chat or if you are in the comments, come on, tell me what you think about this story. I need your direction. I don't know how to do this. Because after reading the court charges, after reading the thing that he pled guilty for, this ex-Tory ex-Tory councillor, Philip Young, after reading what this guy did to his wife, I mean, it's like, my God. Who is this guy? Is this like a small baby devil or something? I mean, you make a covenant with somebody. You get into this marital relationship with somebody and you say, I do. And the pastor is asking you, Philip Young, do you promise to take care of Mrs. Young? You know, life or death, to do your part, all the thing that they say. And then you're like, I do. And you kissed her and you do all this romantic stuff. But somehow you go and do this to her. It's like, man, the level of deceit here is insane. And the fact that it didn't just happen one time, it happened for years. Not 2, not 3, not 4. It happened for 13 years long. Alright, and you're probably thinking, Barack, what are you talking about? Could you give me a little crumble of context? I will. I have to. It's insane, folks. Viewer discretion advised. This is a terrifying story. This is the guys we are raising. This is the guys that we have in a country. And this is the mindset that they have. It's crazy. It's insane. Now, you see, this is a woman, Joanne Young. She was married to Philip Young. And what Philip Young did to her for over 13 years, I mean, how do I describe this? Well, he drugged her for over 13 years. He kept on drugging her, raping her, assaulting her, taking picture of her, publishing online. Basically, he turned her into a slave for 13 freaking young. And by the way, look at that. She's a beautiful wife. I'm telling you, a lot of guys would want this long, beautiful wife. But somehow, some guys, of course not all, but some guys see it as a tool and they can use it however way they see it, however way they feel. Fucking strange. Now listen to this breaking news from ITV. Actually, let's play this other one. A full detail of it. Them explaining what happened, what took place. I think it's important that you get to know. And then I'm gonna read you some numbers nationwide of how bad this really is. So this is not just a one guy felt like he didn't like life, he didn't like girls, and he went out there and did it. No, I'm gonna read you some numbers and how frequently this happens, how regular this is, and the victims, the numbers is scary. I mean, can you even trust anybody today? Especially if your husband can do this. Can you even trust somebody? I don't know, folks. We need Jesus, man. We need God.
We're going to return to our breaking news this afternoon now, and a man has pleaded guilty to drugging and raping his former partner, his former wife in fact, over more than a decade. 49-year-old Philip Young admitted 48 offences relating to Joanne Young, who has waived her legal right to anonymity. It took place between 2010 and 2024. The charges include multiple counts of voyeurism, sexual assault, rape and administering a substance with intent to stupefy Ms Young, who sat in Winchester Crown Court during the 30-minute hearing. Our national correspondent Tom Parmenter joins me now from Winchester. Tom.
It is a shocking betrayal. The story of a husband who has confessed to drugging and then committing multiple sexual offences over many years towards his wife. She has waived her right to anonymity, so she can be named. Joanne Young was in court to see her former husband in the dock alongside other men who were also defendants in this case. Philip Young has pleaded guilty here in Winchester today to 11 rapes, 11 counts of drugging his former wife, 7 assaults by penetration, 4 sexual assaults, 14 counts of voyeurism and 1 count of publishing an obscene article. In total, he confessed to 48 sexual offences over a decade. And there were a number of other men in the dock alongside him, as I say. They have pleaded not guilty, 4 of them. Norman Maxoni, a 47-year-old from Bedfordshire, 31-year-old Connor Sanderson Doyle from Swindon, Richard Wilkins, aged 61 from Swindon, and Mohammed Hassan, aged 47 from Swindon. They have all pleaded not guilty to the charges that they face. Another man, Dean Hamilton, aged 47, has not yet entered a plea. Philip Young, the principal offender here, who has pleaded guilty to all of those charges towards his former wife, will be sentenced at a later date. It is an extraordinary double life, effectively, that he was leading. He was a well-known figure in the town of Swindon, where they lived, and someone who was actually a local councillor for the Conservative Party. He led some of the regeneration of Swindon town centre and was a well-known business leader within the Wiltshire town. He is now a convicted sex offender and has been spending most of today in the dock confessing to those crimes. It took some 30 minutes for all of those offences to be put to him and for him to enter those 48 guilty pleas to those multiple sexual offences towards his wife. He will be sentenced at a later date. The other men involved in this case who have pleaded not guilty to those charges, well, they will face a trial later this year.
Tom in Winchester, thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, this is where we are, folks. This is what's happening. This has been going on for I don't know how long, hundreds of years, where men will deceive, basically, will lie to a woman, and they'll promise them everything, life. They'll promise everything. Hey, don't worry, I'll take care of you. I'll be a little god to you. They promise everything to a woman, and of course, a lady always believes what she listens to. Of course, they'll follow, And then this is what takes place. I'm not saying, hey, before all the guys start attacking me, Barack is not all men. All right, we're talking about this case. And we're going to talking about other cases too. A lot of men think it's okay for them to do such a thing. Because when we did a lot of research, it wasn't just like one lone incident. It wasn't like, oh yeah, one guy felt, didn't feel good and, he just hated girls that day and he hurt his wife. No. There's multiple. This happens almost like a regular thing in the UK. Because when you look at this sexual violence, crazy, folks. When you look at the sexual violence in the UK, 20% of women and 4% of men have experienced some type of sexual assault since the age of 16. 3.1% of women and 0.8% of men aged 16 to 59 had experienced sexual assault in the last year. Okay, it gets more dangerous. It gets more detailed now. We're going to get into it. All right. Approximately 85,000 women and 12,000 men. So, of course, men are also victims as well. Yes, men are also victims too. I know a lot of people skip the part of men being victim. We are also victim too. But I have to say, we are also a lot of, we are the attackers most of the time. We are. But we also are victims. So approximately 85,000 women and 12,000 men aged 16 to 59 experienced rape, attempted rape, or sexual assault by penetration in England and Wales every single year. All right, that looks like a regular thing, folks. Every single year, that looks like a regular thing. So don't tell me this is just like a lone thing. Hey, one guy, one lone incident. No, it's happening every year. And it gets even worse. Let me show you this one. This one is even worse. It's bad. Femicide. When I was looking into this, I actually it was really shocking to see this. I mean, to read this, to research this, cross-verifies, and some sites say even more, but this organization seemed more legit because it gave credible sources and stuff. It's been going on for long, so it's important that we use this one. But a lot of sites are saying way more people. But here's the numbers, folks. Between 120 and 150 women and girls over the age of 14 are killed in male violence against women every year in the UK. That's insane. That is crazy. 120 or maybe 150 girls or women are killed every year. It's almost every 3 days somebody is killed. Almost every day, in a sense. Almost. Actually, every 3 days somebody is killed. That's where we are today, folks. In 2018, 149 women killed in 149 women and girls over the age of 14 were killed by 147 men. So it looks like it's not just one guy. It's not one crazy guy killing all the women. It looks like there's a lot of guys. It's a pattern. I don't know why this thing is. I don't know why you would feel like it's okay to kill a woman. I mean, maybe we can make an argument, okay, self-defense, but this is femicide. So it's not self-defense. It's not like the woman was attacking. This is just one guy going out there, maybe in an argument, maybe something, maybe domestic violence, and boom, kills a woman, kills a girl. 91 of the 149 women killed in 2018, 61% were killed by current or former male partner. So boyfriend, husband, sneaking link, whatever you want to call it. There's so many versions now. There is, but partners, whatever you want to call it. Ex. 61% were killed by people who once said they loved them, One said they cared for them. One said they're going to be there for them. One said is, till death do us apart. One said. Once said in front of God, in the church. One said, I do. Yes, I take Mrs. Jones. I take Mrs. This as a lovely wife. I do. Once they said that. And then they killed them. And of course, the numbers even get even worse. 17 of the 149 women, 11% that being, were killed by a son, stepson, son-in-law, or ex-son-in-law. So it looks like almost every single woman who's killed by femicide, it looks like it's done by somebody who happens to be close to the family, happens to be close to at once. And this is a current thing. This is a yearly thing. It's coming out every year. It happens every year. Bro. Somebody needs to talk about this. Somebody needs to sit and say, all right, this is enough, man. Like, what's going on here? Like, let's look at this. Like, who's teaching this sort of behavior? I mean, where are the men taking this from? Which book are they reading? We got to look close to this. We got to end this. Why are they feeling so angry for them to feel it's compelled for them to kill their partner? Or to kill them, moms. Or their stepmoms. The mother-in-law. The ex-mother-in-law. Why do they feel like they need to go and kill a woman? We need to look at this. We need to try to do something about it. Because this case of a man raping his wife and involving multiple guys in it, in hurting his wife. This case is not just one case. It's not just a one terrifying incident that took place in the country. No, this thing happens every year. And it's time to start looking at this and be like, okay, why is that happening? Because that needs fixing, folks. That needs fixing, because I don't think Joanne Young deserved any of that. And by the way, this is the crazy thing. This is an ex-councillor. This is a Tory ex-councillor, by the way. It's Philip Young. It's an ex-Tory councillor. Somebody who people voted for. Somebody who we trusted. Somebody who people put their backs. We backed him. Not me specifically, but people backed him. People wanted him to represent them locally. And he was in charge in overseeing some sort of sensitive details. He was in charge. He had some form of power in the local community. And he was out there. His job was to defend the community, to defend the people. But guess what? He was raping, sexually assaulting, and he drugging his wife for 13 years. That was 13 years. Sorry, 13 years he was doing that. While he was working, while he was doing all this, while he's smiling in the camera, while he's giving interviews, while he's campaigning, saying, hey, I'm going to put you first. Vote for me. While he's getting guys to gang rape his wife and filming his wife, drugged her to basically close to death, fully drugged up. Then he brings his boys, and his boys are ganging up. The video is recorded. It's like the devil sent him to like, hey, go do this. Because that you can't do that to somebody that you love. You must be really evil for you to marry somebody, then turn around and think and treat them like that. You wouldn't even do that to your enemy. Because you always think they don't deserve it somehow. Never mind thinking of doing it to your wife. You must be super evil. But yeah, this is what's taking place in Britain, folks. It's important that we talk about it. Oh, God. God. All right, folks. Last story of the day. Last freaking story of the day. Are you guys ready for this story? We're gonna talk about this, folks. We're gonna talk about this. All right. We're gonna talk about this. Okay. We're gonna talk about this. Keir Starmer is following. Okay, let's start this again. Keir Starmer is in hiding right now. He's hiding. I don't know, somewhere. We can't find him, but he's hiding. is basically shitting himself. He's scared. As you already know, Keir Starmer doesn't like to have any sort of opposition, and when he does, he silences them straight away. We've seen it. He's silencing people on the media, online, silencing people every time, silencing protesting, cracking down, arresting them, doing all the crazy stuff that he's been doing to a lot of protesters. You'd think that is only his opposition, meaning politically opposition, but no. That goes even deeper into the Labour Party. He's silencing his own kind because he knows there's a coup going on. There's a coup that's been established now. It's ongoing. It's not done yet. As you see, the man who's standing next to him is Andy Burnham. He's a mayor of Manchester. A lot of people in the Labour Party love him. They love him to the point where they call him the King of the North. Yeah, I know. They call him the King of the North. That's how much they love him. They adore him. And he's been a mayor of Manchester for a very long time. And Saturday, he made a decision. He said, hey, I'm going to get back into Parliament. And of course, you know who that threatens. He threatens Keir Starmer because he knows this is the guy who's going to replace him. This is a coup that's been brewing for a very long time, and he's been knowing it. And of course, he's not going to let that happen. And guess what he did? He blocked Andy Burnham from doing that, from making that decision. He's like, you stay there, all right? I'm keeping my job. You stay there. That's basically what he did. I don't want to lose my job. I'm going to do everything I want. I'm going to suppress you if I can. No money for you. The Labour Party won't support you. You stay there. I love my job. I'm going to keep it. That's literally what he did. He did what he does to everybody. Silence them. Take whatever, use your power to make sure they don't excel. Okay, we might not like Andy Burnham. We might not like his politics, but still. So it doesn't just apply to Reform or Conservative or any other party. He has some form of like a dictatorship tendency or maybe a authoritarian type of tendency. And the reason why he used to basically stop Andy Burnham from running is because the Labour Party doesn't have money. Imagine, he says the Labour Party doesn't have money. That's why Andy Burnham couldn't run. The Labour Party doesn't have that much resources. We can't allocate resources to Andy Burnham because we want to preserve it. We want to use it to the most important thing. We can't give it to Andy Burnham. We don't have money. Imagine the Labour Party doesn't have money. Really? No, Keir Starmer. We know it's happening. There's a coup going on and your days are numbered. But listen to this report. It goes more into detail, and of course we're gonna talk more about it. And we got Keir Starmer's response, and we also got Andy Burnham's response, but he's been basically silenced. He's told to shut up and dribble, basically. He's been told to shut up and keep doing the work in Manchester. You cannot challenge Keir Starmer, as obviously a lot of people have noticed, especially the ones who are vocal online.
From running in the forthcoming Gorton and Denton by-election, he had intimated that he wanted to do that in a letter yesterday, standing down as the Labour Mayor of Greater Manchester. But he's been blocked from doing so by the party's executive committee. Let's bring in Amanda Acas now as our political correspondent in Westminster. There were going to be ramifications either way, Amanda, but it certainly seems that Keir Starmer's loyalists on the executive committee have decided they don't want him to run.
Well, yes, this is a bit of a bombshell announcement for the Labour Party, which, as you say, will have huge ramifications, potentially even igniting a bit of a civil war in the backbenches of the parliamentary Labour Party between those who are loyal to Sir Keir Starmer and those who would have liked to seen Andy Burnham return to Westminster and potentially be in position to mount a leadership challenge of his own in future. But yes, so the board of the National Executive Committee is made up of very senior members in the party. It's is chaired by Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary. Sir Keir Starmer is on it, also Ellie Reeves. There are also a number of union representatives. They only met at 11 o'clock. They took less than an hour to take their decision after last night Andy Burnham confirmed that he did want to seek permission from the board to step down as Mayor of Greater Manchester after just 2 years into his term, to seek to run to be an MP in that by-election in a suburb of Manchester. Now, he argued in his letter that he wanted to be able to use the lessons that he'd learned as Manchester Mayor on a national political basis. He said politics, there was poison in politics that was pitting people against to each other, and he felt it was right for him to lead the fight from the front against that kind of politics. And he did have some veiled criticism of the government in terms of how people were feeling that the government wasn't doing enough for them in terms of the cost of living. But he did say within his letter that he pledged that he would support the work of the government, not seek to undermine it, and that he'd given his pledge to the Prime Minister. But it seems that that assurance has not quite been enough to win over the NEC.
Yeah, this is where we are, folks. Of course, Andy Burnham is a big figure in the Labour Party, and they don't want him to challenge Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer wants to keep his premiership. He wants to fortify his power within the party, because he's lost a lot of people. He's got a lot of things going on. A lot of people don't like the way he's been doing. Maybe they don't like him that he's not doing a worse job, I guess. They want him to be more left. They want him to be more radical on the left, because of course you got a new party that was formed, your party, by Zara Sultana and Jeremy Corbyn, because they feared that the Labour Party was not super left and super Islamist side, so they created another party. And then of course you got multiple people who left the Labour Party because the Labour Party was not not radical enough. And then obviously we all know that Andy Burnham is basically a big socialist. He's active, he has all these socialist reforms that he wants to push, and Keir Starmer is not pushing that. And Andy Burnham, Andy Burnham has a loyal fan within the base that he knows once he become an MP, he can easily defeat Keir Starmer. And of course, Keir Starmer doesn't want him to join the parliament, because as soon as Andy Burnham joins, it's game over for him. It's game over for him, because the party would want this guy to be in form of like, they're gonna need a little reshuffling, and they're gonna want him to get some power. And of course, everybody in the Labour Party, it looks like almost everybody, especially the people who did not get a job that they wanted. The people who got promised this, but they didn't get it. Everybody is looking at Andy Burnham, because they know they can strike a little deal. They know they can get a bigger job. They're not just going to be MPs. They might be maybe Secretary of State, maybe Foreign Ministers, maybe this. And of course, the people who have got jobs, big title jobs to advance their career under Starmer, they are obviously loyal to Starmer. They are like, no, even Shabana Mahmood, she's a Home Secretary. That's a big job. Of course she's defending Keir Starmer. She said she support the thing, and she voted against it as well, against Andy Burnham. And the reason why is kind of terrifying. The reason why is because they don't have enough resources to give to Andy Burnham. Imagine that. The Labour Party doesn't have enough resources. Do you believe that? I don't. Bro, of course not. It's just that Keir Starmer doesn't want to leave the government. Doesn't want to leave, and doesn't want to sit back in a backbench. Doesn't want to become a backbencher. And he knows his time is coming to an end. In the next 5-10 years from now, he'll be lucky if he keeps a seat. But listen to his response. It's important that we listen to him as well. I know he doesn't like people responding, but let's give him the right to respond, all right?
Minister, closer to home, you led the charge over the weekend to stop Andy Burnham running for Parliament. You argued the case. You personally voted against him at the National Executive Committee. Many MPs are furious about this. One MP called you...
Yeah, but be very clear about that. We have really important elections already across England for local councils, very important elections in Wales for the government there, and very important elections in Scotland for the Scottish government. That will affect millions of people, and we're out campaigning on the cost of living. And they're very important elections. We need all of our focus on those elections. Andy Burnham's doing a great job as the Mayor of Manchester, but having an election for the Mayor of Manchester when it's not necessary would divert our resources away from the elections that we must have and that we must fight and win. And resources, whether that's money or people, need to be focused on the elections that we must have, not elections that we don't have to have. And that was the basis of the NEC decision.
Yeah, that is where we are. They say they don't have money and the resources to to bring in Andy Burnham. We don't have money and the resources. No, it's more like, I don't want to lose my job. I want to save myself. There's no way I'm letting this guy come in. There's no way. Because he's going to do quick challenge and he's going to get it. Done. He's going to get it. Or maybe he's going to come in, then I'm going to have to reshuffle my government. Because he deserves a bigger seat, given given his popularity within the party. He can't be just a normal MP. He's going to want some bigger job. And I can't upset my base right now. Because I've already reshuffled people. People are already mad with me. People are already sad with me. I can't reshuffle again to give him a position in a ministry position. Because then I'm going to lose some popularity here. I'm going to lose the base that I've already established. That's basically what it is. This is a strategic move from Keir Starmer. But he knows his time is coming to an end. Because Andy Burnham, okay, maybe he said, all right, I'm going to go back and sit down and keep doing my job. Okay, I'm going to shut up and do my job. All right. But do you think he's not going to challenge in a general election? Maybe not even in the general election. Maybe not this year. Maybe next year he's going to challenge. Or maybe later on this year he's going to challenge. And then Keir Starmer will come to his knees. Or maybe he's gonna have to concede to some ground here and give some power away and start doing what Andy Burnham would do. Because Andy Burnham is more radical. He's more on the left side. He's super lefty. He wants to push more. He wants more and more. And if you think Keir Starmer is bad right now, wait for Andy Burnham, folks. But folks, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming on. I mean, we usually do like a 10 minutes talk. We used to do 10-minute talk. All right, let's put 10 minutes on the clock. We usually do 20 minutes, but today let's put 10 minutes on the clock. And then I'll just read your chat real quick, and we're gonna go back and forth and stuff. Go back and forth. So Jason says, hello. Hello, Jason. How you doing? Good to see you, Jason. Good to see you here, my boy. Good to see you, bro. What do you guys think of the show today? I was late today, to be fair. I was like 14 minutes late. I'm sorry. Forgive me. It's Monday. I think Monday is a day that everybody's, everybody can be late on Monday, all right? Weekend, all right? We were too busy on the weekend, okay? I was late. True Finder, thank you so much. Sorry I wasn't here for most of it, by the way. Nah, True Finder, it's okay. You told me that you were not going to be here, so I figured out that you were not going to be here. I think you also struggled to come here by I think 4 o'clock is not a good time for you. I noticed that because this has happened multiple times, but it's okay. It's fine. You're here now. It's okay. You're here now. Starmer think is a god. Got news for him. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he thinks he's a god, isn't it? Yeah, we got really bad news for him. Yeah, very acute news. All right, it's gonna be very painful for him to know he's not a freaking god. Just Janice says, "Fuck tongue Starmer." What does that mean? Is that a new slang? Okay. Okay. I'm scrolling back up what I missed. Too many platforms and option for these predators. Yes, too many platforms. I'm assuming you're talking in regard to that story that we just covered about the rapist guy who raped his wife. But yeah, there's a lot of platforms like Snapchat, platform like all these platforms that maybe turn girls into some sort of like they feel like they have to basically act and think and be more of like a tool for a man to use. And then we got all these websites where men get to see all these crazy content, by the way, and then they do to them, which is kind of scary because when you see today's content, all the crazy content that comes out there, you see what guys are doing to girls, and the girls are letting it. They think it's just content, but a young man is looking at this thinking, yeah, I want my girls to do this. I want to be able to put my feet on her face, because apparently that video showed me that it was sexy to do. And then obviously the story that we just covered, a guy marrying his wife, beautiful wife, by the way. What a wife, beautiful wife. And then he drugs her. He gets men into the room. He films the situation, the thing, and he just, sexual assault, rape, and penetration, all these things, and he does that to his wife. It brings, some of us are mad if another guys look at our wife. Some of us are mad if a guy thinks of our girls in a certain way. We're mad, but never mind drugging your wife, then inviting men to come and do crazy stuff to her while you out there recording. I don't know, bro. Yeah, so maybe you're right. Too many platforms and options for these predators to go. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, somebody says TikTok. Yeah, TikTok is it's very viral. TikTok is it's a place, depending on what type of algorithm you've been trapped into, it can be very dangerous sometimes. It can be. I'm not on TikTok. I don't really post on TikTok. TikTok tried to. TikTok censored us for. They gave us like 9. I don't know how long it was, but it was like 3 months banned, something like that. And then I just never returned. And I only post there now when I can. We have over 100 subscribers, over 100K on TikTok. TikTok, we did really well, and then we started getting banned, and we're like, all right, fuck it, I'm never gonna engage. All right, I'm going to YouTube. All right, and then YouTube banned us, and I was thinking, oh, where do I go? Please, but maybe I might go to Rumble. All right? but yeah, TikTok it can be very viral sometimes, depending what type of algorithm you're in. Barack, they gave me a warning on TikTok for writing white woman in the comments. Really? Yeah, that's how TikTok is very sensitive to anybody who, to some people, it's very sensitive in the sense where it picks what it wants to show people. If you're out there, if you're an OnlyFans lady in your bikini, all these crazy stuff, and then your account will blow up. I see girls who comes on TikTok, within 3 months they have millions of followers. I'm thinking, what the fuck? And now they somehow feel like they have, they start teaching young girls to do the same thing, which is kind of dangerous to have a society. Like when you look at America right now, £3 billion comes from is contributed from, I think, no, not 3 billion. I think maybe £20 billion is contributed from OnlyFans. What? That's crazy. A lot of kids are very switched on compared to my generation. They are awake, but the dark forces around them pose greater peril. It is scary out there. Yes, it's scary. Yeah, they're gonna perish. I hope not. I hope they don't. I hope they don't go into. I hope they don't. I really hope that there is a greater man who or woman who will come out there and tell them before they take that journey, because there is a lot of evilness going on. There is a wrong influences emerging out of nowhere, swearing the young population, swearing the younger generation somewhere else, which is very dangerous, folks. So, yeah. Okay, Russia has Handex. What's Handex? Is that social media, Handex? Okay, well, okay, let's search up Handex real quick. Handex finds anything, websites, image, videos, music, good source for everyday scientific one. Wait, is this like a YouTube thing, or is it like a Google thing? A Russian technology company provides internet-related products and services, including a web browser, search engine, cloud computing, web mapping. I don't think you can't compare this to TikTok. TikTok doesn't do any of these. TikTok gives you content and just lock you in and keep you scrolling. Oh, so Handex has. Okay, I didn't even know this company. Okay, maybe it's like a Google thing. Maybe it's like it sounds more like Google for them. I'm sure every country probably has their own way of like a web browser, because it's it's easier for them to just keep the population using their Google site. Okay, cool. All right, folks, we got 1 minute here. Hey, a good question. Let's get a good question in the chat. Okay, we got a poll here. So we got a poll that was. Oh man, are we really gonna change the time again? I was getting into this 4 o'clock everyday stuff. Oh, come on. Are we really voting 5 p.m.? People are saying 5 p.m. is better. 62% say 5 p.m. Oh, 64 now. All right, guys, come on. Vote 4 o'clock, please. We're going to have to switch it again. Okay. I mean, of course, the show is for you guys and for me as well. So if you guys want 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. every single day, then we'll do 5 p.m. If it works for you guys, then we'll do that. But how about we do this poll next time where there's more people in the chat where they can vote? Only 22 people have voted. All right, guys, vote. Come on, let's vote this thing. Let's vote for this. Let's vote for this. All right. 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. live show. Which one? 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Which one? Which one would you prefer? Which one would you prefer, guys? If you're in the chat, I know some of you guys are not able to see the polls. I know it can be really hard. I don't know, especially if I don't know what type of phones you guys are using. I don't know what, I'm using iPhone, so I find it really easy, the polls. So I don't know if you're able to see the polls, but a lot of you guys are voting that 5 p.m. is better. Since I mean, to be fair, I knew 5 p.m. would be better for everybody, but I just thought, because I want to be done by 6, yeah. I want to be done by 6, so that's why, and I want to do 2 hours. So that's why I said 4 to 6 would be cool. But if you guys want to do 5 and you think 5 is okay for you guys, all right, fuck it. Let's do 5 o'clock. All right. Okay. There's a democracy here, at least. All right. There's a democracy on this show. All right. We'll put a poll up. You guys vote for it and you guys get it. All right. It's not like the democracy out there that they preach to everybody. So Just Janice says, whatever you decide, Barack. No, I'm not. Come on. I'm not a dictator. I'm gonna let you vote, okay? 5 p.m. it seems like it is. Let's get this poll to 30 polls, all right? To 30 people. Let's get 3 more people voting. I know it's not gonna change much if any of those 3 vote. Yeah, for democracy. Yes. Yeah, for democracy. But that has been democracy now is becoming a thing where I don't even want to talk about it, to be fair. I don't want to talk about it. I think the politicians have capitalized on the side of promising us that just vote, just wait for the next time you vote, and then the things that is presented to us is the options that they give us. It's like vote for what exactly? Vote for what? The Tories and Reform? That's two parties, the same thing. What? Labour and Lib Dems? I mean, what? The Greens? Vote for what exactly? What democracy is it if all the options on the table are not any of the ones that I would like to have in Parliament? Oh, they're not the ones that will represent me. What do you mean vote? So democracy today has been like it's a good tool. It's a good tool that they've used, yes. All right, cool. All right, cool, guys. I'm gonna have to go. But it's been a good show. I love doing this. It's a good show. It's been a good show. Do you guys enjoy it? I think you guys enjoyed it. All right. I think these guys enjoyed it. Okay, cool. Perfect. Tomorrow I'll see you at 5 o'clock. All right. 5 o'clock tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Change the alarm so you don't want to be an hour late. Change your alarm. All right. Change the thing. We're gonna be here at 5 p.m. tomorrow. 5 p.m. 5 p.m. We're gonna be here till 7 o'clock. It looks like that's the way we're gonna go. 2 hours. 5 till 7. And it depends. It depends if I feel like I want to go on. Then we're gonna be here till 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's fine to me. But yeah, we're gonna be here from 5 till 7. So I'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock it is. And without further ado, thank you so much. If you're new to the channel again, I want to urge you to hit the like button and subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. If you want to subscribe on Facebook, now we're gonna be posting on Facebook a little bit, just a little bit. We're gonna dip our toes in the water on Facebook and see what Meta is like. We're gonna post on YouTube, on Facebook too. So if you want to subscribe there or follow us there, you can follow us. It's the same name. You can find us there. Rumble as well. We've been live on Rumble. We are live on Rumble all the time when we're live on YouTube. So if you want to support Rumble, but I urge everybody to be on YouTube and just. The reason why I have all these other channels just because YouTube have learned to listen with YouTube. The worst time possible. They kicked us off, they demonetized, they censored us, and we couldn't post more than certain amounts. We couldn't go live more than this long. I mean, it was just like, what's the point? And that went on for 9 months. So I like specifying. I like doing one thing. I just like to be specific with one thing. Then later on, diversified. Then do more stuff. Since we don't have that much resources on the show, it's not like we have hundreds of people working where they can keep this live show here, where we can keep this show, where we can moderate this and moderate that. We don't have that many people, so we have to focus on one platform, which is YouTube. So most of you guys, you'll find us here unless they do something to it, but we're gonna be here all the time. But we're also gonna have all those other channels like Rumbles, like Facebook or maybe X, and just have those channels doing the same thing. But you can go find those there all the time if you want. But we're gonna be mainly on YouTube. We're gonna keep those channels like an option, but we won't put too much energy into it. So sometimes we might not post there, but yeah, I think you guys understand. But thank you so much, folks. Without further ado, hand to the head salute again. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Our country is built on an idea. It's an idea so powerful that some of us have died to protect it. It shapes our connection, our politics. It forms the fabric of our daily lives. And it seems so fundamental, we rarely pause to consider its significance. But here's the thing. This notion is entirely uncrafted. And although it feels like it's getting stronger and it's always going to be here, the truth is, it's becoming more fragile than we realize. This concept is a community. It's built when people with shared interests, value and goals come together, interact regularly, support each other, and work towards a common objective. creating a sense of belonging within the group. That's called a community. You are not just a person who happens to live in Manchester. You are Mancunian, or Londoner, or Brummy, or Scouse. With what our leaders are doing, we are slowly losing this community. So let's stop for a moment to learn why this idea has existed forever and how it got us here. Because once you do, it makes sense why we should keep this concept alive. So help me build this community. You've been silenced for very long, and every time you try to resist, they put you in jail.
For my children.
You've controlled your mind for so long to the point where you let them decide what your kids should learn, what gender they will be. And now you've let them to come for the whole nation, destroying what Britain once stood up for. They use this media machine not to report the facts to you, but to tell you what to think and what you should do.
Always be careful.
They're hiding the facts behind the noise, and they're recruiting pedophiles to tell you how to behave. And these politicians who meant to protect you, they're out there smashing your head on the ground. And no jail time for them. This road we've been on has been very dark for a very long time, and it's time to shine a light on the truth and advocate for justice. We the people make the nation, and if we don't stand up and advocate for justice, then we certainly won't make this nation great again. So we have to create a place for that, a place that can contribute to a more informed society. And that place is Next Frontier Media. Our country is built on an idea. It's an idea so powerful that some of us have died to protect it. It shapes our connection, our politics. It forms the fabric of our daily lives.